I would still tell them that I got you. Hey, I was facing death alone. Hey, nobody called my phone. I'm just like, God, do you hear me? Please forgive them, they don't know that they sinning. I'ma be a star, please believe me. Hey, dim the lights and you can see me. I'ma be a star, please believe me. Yeah. Hey, heart throbbing. I feel like pain is a life sentence. Gotta get up and keep going. Gotta get up and keep going. Yeah.
The Punisher. So again, we go back to Marvel when they don't understand what the core of the character is, and that's why 343 sucks ass. They just, they sucked ass. They truly didn't know who Master Chief is, because when in fucking Halo 5 dropped, the people who are working on it didn't even know who Master Chief is. Like, bro, what? Who let these people work? How do you work on Halo and not know who Master Chief is? And that's the thing with the director. Motherfucker works on Resident Evil, doesn't even know about the like, good example, like the lore of Resident Evil. It's like, dude, how do you not know about the T-Virus lore, bro? Who let you on this team? And it's funny, in Japanese, people who don't know, you have to know lore. Like, it is like a sin to not know lore about a game when you work on it. And even Harada from Tekken, you know Harada, right, Mar?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I love him. Did
you ever see when he has his bar podcast? He was talking to literally the creator of Smash, and they were both talking about how in their field, like, Japanese people do it because it's a custom to make sure you always respect the IP that you do a collab with. It's just norm that it's looked down upon.
But he did a podcast with Sakurai, and I fucking missed this shit. I need to watch
and
that.
He was
that
actually talking.
So dope.
Yeah, they were literally talking about one of those components, and that's why I noticed, like, Japanese IPs actually respect way more than I've seen in Western ones, because they like, you have to be as faithful to the IP as possible. That's why, like, and then he even brought up Smash. He's like, oh, I think you guys did Kazuya pretty good. That's why he's so faithful. And then it's like, and then it's funny because Harada said, I thought we were pretty easy. And then Sakurai literally clapped back and said, nah, you guys were not easy to work with. He was saying, like basically, like, no, this Duya is not Duya enough, you know? Like, that's how much attention to detail Japanese people care about IPs that aren't even theirs. And guess who we let in charge of Resident Evil 2? A person who literally says, no, the original alligator's stupid. I think it's dumb poo-poo. I want to put my stupid Western ideas because I'm a Western simp and strong wham, and, you know, instead of the original creator, haha, girl with chicks and titties that go slice, go brr, which is the Devil May Cry creator, Hideki Kamiya. You know, it's like when you don't respect your senpai, and again, remember, this is Japanese culture, so what he's doing is a huge fucking sin. If they're letting that slide, it shows you that corporate doesn't actually care. Like, let that sink in. If you're breaking your own rules of Japanese society, you're fucking up. And that's the main reason why Japanese games are doing better, because of the societal structure. It has its negatives, don't get me wrong, but very clearly it has its positives. Like, we all agree that's why we simp for Japanese culture. Like, we all fucking know it, because we love how neat and organized they are. And again, it's at a risk to them being, you know, super socially awkward, not getting laid. But we all agree as a society, there's a reason all of us look at Japan like, damn, that's neat. Because on the outside, I mean, it's functional. The thing about Japanese society is it's functional to a T. It prioritizes the majority over the minority at the cost of the minority, right? But that, again, you know, it can be fixed over time, yada, yada. That's a whole different conversation. But again, it makes sense. And again, going back to, that's why the Resident Evil and Capcom are sucking dick, because they're breaking their own society's rules. Like, that would not fly in Sega. That's why Sega's doing God tier. Oh yeah, I should mention, never mind, I am hyped for some games, because Sega's reviving their fucking classics, something every other company should fucking do.
I love how you circle back.
Crazy taxi. You know? Yeah, that's my whole, I'm sorry, I know you went on one thing, but like, it's just Capcom, because I'm passionate, and right now, Capcom is not Capcom. Like, dude, you know you fucked up when you got rid of the voice for Ken over a political opinion. Like, dude, I don't give a fuck what he said. That bitch better voice Ken and Dante in the next games, or I'm coming for your nuts. And it shows you they have no respect. Why wasn't Wesker's original voice actor in the reimagining? It shows you they have no respect for the original cast. And it's crazy because a lot of them are pretty cool with Capcom. So it's crazy that people who work for Capcom, they're like, oh, it's stable to work for Capcom because you know they always get you, right? Like, they have to have their voice actors.
Dude,
they need
I
to
didn't
respect.
even know they actually. Hold on, they didn't use the same voice for Ken.
Nope. They changed him, and he's been there since, like, I think. Yeah, dead ass. Straight up, over just some opinion. It's mainly Capcom
God.
America, but at the end of the day, Japanese Capcom. Like, that's the thing. If anyone knows, true Japanese companies, they look over you hard. Even if you're American, they look over your work, this and that. Like, did you hire the same voice actor? But it shows you how little the higher ups are if they don't even watch over Capcom America. Because right now, Capcom America's too woke. 100%, bro. Capcom America's too fucking woke. Because again, if they got rid of Ken, because he probably said, you know what? I think SJWs are stupid. Oh, you're not allowed to voice Ken. Leave. You know? I guarantee you it was something as petty as that, bro. Guarantee you it was something like he just said something based as fuck. Because right now the voice acting industry's so fucked because it's too fucking cliquey and I can't stand that. And like I said, and then again, we've seen it, like, good example, look at what happened when Exo Prime Mode was dropped. They got some weird LGBTQ people to advertise it for the American one. Nobody watched that shit. And then they were literally deleting comments, not basically praising it. And then the Japanese one, what did they do? VTubers. millions of views, even though no one gave a shit about Exo Prime. Like, oh, look, cute waifus. I want to watch that. Like, literally, Capcom America's just trash. We need to just, all of you, lose a job. Like, get that woke trash out of here. And again, the fact that the higher-ups at Japan don't care, they're like, yeah, whatever, let them do them. It's like, it shows you they don't care. You know, and again, the fucking Capcom Japan doesn't, because their job's not advertising. They focus on their market. It's the CEO that's supposed to watch over fucking Capcom America, and they're not. They're clearly not. They don't give a fuck. They're just like, I don't care what woke shit you put, as long as we can still charge them for DLC, because at the end of the day, Japan's still making the game. You can just do what I did. Ken, Japanese voice. I mean, don't get me wrong, no hate on the American voice actor, he's good. And some of them, I think they changed Chun-Li. Like, they're fine. No hate on the new voice actors they put, but like, I'm sorry, bro. I need my Ken, I need my Chun-Li, I need my Albert Wesker.
So it's not the fact that they changed them. That's like the new ones aren't bad. It's the fact that they changed them.
Exactly. You know? And I even mentioned in my podcast about Uni how sometimes if you get really attached to a character, especially in fighting games, bro, like sometimes the voice lines they direct or this or that, like really gets you to a character. And I will say that I think Street Fighter did a way better job than Under Night did. Because literally, Lars and Enkidu sound weird to me, bro. Like, you know what's fucked up when I don't even want to play Lars anymore. Like, I just don't like how he says up forward. He says, yeah, not yeah. Like, they changed voice actors. So Japan, I don't know what they're doing with their voice acting thing. So
looks like I got a job in Japan. I'm about to go over there and be like, yo, let me throw you some of my top lines right here. Here's a yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but from what I heard, I think a lot of them retired because Japan takes the voice acting industry way more serious, where we don't get none of this bullshit over here. Like, they care way more about the same character being voiced or someone sounding similar, you know? But who knows? I think there's something happening in the Japanese. Like I said, you guys should check out my Under Night podcast because I do talk about, like, the voices and shit. Or my review, like I said. It's super important. And voice acting for a fighting game is probably one of the hardest things ever. Like, again, it's not just simply talking and being good. Like, bro, homie, you better make sure the beginning of your voice is exaggerated so they can hear that fucking overhead. And then when at the end of it, you better be like, so you know how we talk, you know, it's just normal. It's normal throughout. No, you gotta learn how to pitch your voice at the beginning and then at the end go, you know, like that's
like you got punched in the gut.
It's not normal. It's like doing the YouTuber voice. It's not normal to talk like, hello everyone, you know, kind of shit.
Hello everyone.
You know, like my hello everyone, this is your favorite FGC. See, this is normal, but this doesn't catch your attention. I gotta exaggerate. You know, there's an art to acting in the voice, but. Yeah, that's my whole thing about Capcom, you know. Like, see, look, I'm invested. Like, I'm not a professional expert, even I'm not gonna admit, right? But I know at least enough to be like, yeah, no, this is some shit.
It's like watching a movie, and you're not a director, but you're gonna know if they're acting good or not.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, thank you.
That's all I got. Oh man. I think, I should have focused on that a little bit more, man. I feel like my voice acting is pretty good. I think some people in the comments like, yo, you know what? That was so good, you know. I don't know how they're going to type that in the comments, but...
I know you're gaslighting yourself, but I kind of want to say that, actually, I don't think you'd make a bad voice actor. You don't sound garbage, so, you know what? I'm gaslighting you too.
I appreciate it.
But yeah, Mar, I mean, I don't know if you want to add anything to that. God damn it, y'all got me ranting today. Holy shit.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's so good. So you know, we might have to need to do another podcast until like 2 months later.
Exactly. Like, if anything, man, we're just farming the content off of you right now, man. We're just letting you go off. It's like the more you go off, man, the more people are gonna end up hearing this, the more we're gonna end up getting views, man. This shit's gonna be fucking wild.
And we gotta hope that like a CEO hears this and are like, you know what? These gamers know what they're talking about. You know what? Why are we not talking to the community? Like, for real.
They're not gonna care, bro. Like I said, these guys have their heads so up their ass and the money's still coming in. They don't care. But like I said, their time is coming. It's the rise of the AAA indie game is coming. And Mar, like I said, hopefully I can get a demo so you can get a feel for it. And I want your critique as a Tekken player. You know, you know, I'm here to take. I want to be the Baldur's Gate for the FGC, bro. Because clearly you guys aren't doing your job right. My own fighting game, blackjack and hookers, Bender. Like literally, dude. You see my menu, right, Mar? Like the fact that I even have extra modes is and by the way, it's gonna be like a shit ton of extra modes. That's already like see, and that's what Baldur's Gate. See, this brings it up. Baldur's Gate did one thing. It said, "Let's just be a sequel," and literally every fucking bitch ass EA, Capcom, they're like, "Oh, that's too high of a standard. What? Just making a sequel? That's it? Like just making a sequel? That's it? Like it worked. It's just not Baldur's Gate 3." And then they're like, "Oh, how dare they make an actual functioning sequel? Oh, crazy! You telling me they don't make half-ass game?" it has glitches.
They're an outlier, man. They have no idea what it really means to make a game. You're never gonna understand, guys. Like this game, this is the only one of a kind game that'll ever happen because we can't do what they do. I hated that whole narrative, man. That shit was so fucking stupid.
And here's what's crazy, bro. Ever since becoming a game dev, bro, I've realized how much bullshit has come out of their fucking mouth, dude. Like, holy fuck, I love that I started getting the day game deving because now I could call them out. It's like, dude, you guys are just literally lazy as fuck. It's not even bullshit. You're lazy. Like, it is what it is. You're lazy and you're just straight up untalented. At the end of the day, y'all motherfuckers are just untalented as fuck. That's the other thing, too, man. Like, y'all have no talent. You're lazy, and clearly your CEOs want money, and you're simping for them somehow. That's wild to me, bro. Like, shit. You spend more time on Twitter than actually developing. Holy fuck.
I have a question for your game. Is there gonna be DLC?
Sure. Who?
DLC.
Is there gonna be only for the online, and it'll be cheap as fuck.
All right.
I want the game to feel like it's a full fucking package.
Is it like DLC, like for
Will
characters?
there be nude mods from the jump?
Clearly, and I'm not gonna stop. And here's the thing: another thing that's a controversy with Nexus mods is they're a bitch. Like, if you try to do anything, like, good example, there was a mod in Nexus mods that reintroduced the getting rid of the LGBT flags in Spider-Man. But the thing is, all the mod was turning a switch that said turn flags on or off, because in the Middle East that shit is off. So when you think about it, like, it's not even a mod; it's just them enabling a feature that the game already fucking has, which is fucking crazy. And so for me, it's like, dude, I don't give a... Dude, you could be racist as fuck. It's like, you know what? I'm doing the Elon Musk thing. It's like, you know what? I believe in true freedom. Whatever mod you want, fucking just... I want to make my own Nexus mod thing, right? Like, fuck those guys because they're clearly a piece of shit. But clearly, like, anything that's, like, super... Like, nude mods, it has its own category, right? Because I hate that when the first thing you do... And majority, like, no, I want the front page to be functional mods. To be like, oh, this is a mod that does this, this, and that. And even I would actually, like, you know what? I want to do the Bethesda thing, actually. That's why I said there would be DLC. It's like, I wouldn't mind hiring some of the mods being like, hey, yo, deadass, here's some money for having like a fix or something that maybe I could have never addressed or something. Or maybe adding multiplayer, because I said that I'm only going to do it for some modes. So I'm like, oh, here's a mod that adds multiplayer to this game mode. I'm like, here's some money, dog. Thank you for your work. Let me make this to all the systems. I appreciate your work, dog. Like, I would even send an actual note and appreciate, like, I really want to work. I want to make my game really mod friendly. I think that's really helps for longevity, and introduce it to how, like, Bethesda did, like, have a mod menu for consoles too, so they can enjoy. Like, maybe there's like fun, goofy mods, right? Like, oh, boom, here you go, free, right? Whatever. But mods that I feel like are super important, I would literally just pay them for it. Be like, oh, here you go. And some of the deals, and again, I would have it where like, oh, here's an outfit mod, whatever. I'm like, oh, cool. I'd have it like, I'd have a store for it, and then I'd make it where it's like anyone could get it, right? Like, let's say like $1 or something. Like I said, to me, if a DLC or an outfit costs more than a game, that's bullshit. You're getting ripped off. Like I said, I have in the in-game currency. Like, if you spend like, let's say. Like, I want it to be where if you pay $1, that's like $100. So, like, one DLC skin, oh, that's a cent. Oh, that's 2 cents.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I want people to feel. Because that's how I feel. Like, I think of myself when I was poor, bro. Like, I want a kid, they get like $10 on PSN, they put it into my game, they basically are rich, bro. That's like $1,000 to them.
Like, low-key, Call of Duty back in the day sort of made your $5 DLC worth the $5, you know what I mean? But right? Then, like, then they inflation it.
Well, I mean, I'd probably make it like $1. You get what I'm saying? But, like, I want to make it so cheap to where, like, again, they could put $1 and actually feel like they got their money's worth. Like,
yeah.
I don't like them.
Yeah, I see your point.
And you're going to feel good. Like, think about it. You're some kid from ass country, right? You put your little $1, and oh my God, I got 10 outfits. They're all sick as shit. And guess what? 10 or 100 more. And that's why they go, oh, you can't make money. It's like, homie, $1 times 100 people, that's already $100. Sony gets their share. I actually wouldn't want to get most of the share. To me, it's like, I have to give it to Sony because it's Sony, right? They get theirs. I get maybe for every, let's say $10, the person who makes the mod, and for every 100 Sony gets, I would get $1. Because at the end of the day, again, we go back, right? So let's say that I get $1 off of 100. Bro, I want my game to actually be popular. That's my main goal. To me, my focus isn't about the money, this and that. Like, this is a passion project. I want to do it. I want to make the game I fucking want, right? The only people I care about getting critique is people like you, Clockwork, like people who aren't scrubs. Like, I want some pros and some low-level players. That's why I want to have
a character idea too.
Like Baldur's Gate. And I look for keynotes like, oh, is this game too hard? Is this level too hard? This and that. But I'm not going to listen, oh, man, I think this move should be +5. Oh, this should have... I'm like, no, I don't give a shit about that. I'll watch you play and see, are you fucking up because you're an idiot? Or are you fucking up because my design is bad and it's not telling you how to play? And then that makes you think that this weapon should be stronger. When in reality, I'm not designing the weapon to feel strong enough. And that's the problem with developers. They don't actually look at the core problem because they don't do game testing. They just go, oh, fuck it, we're just going to buff this weapon, right? It's lazy development. Same with hard difficulties and shit. Like, oh, let's just make their health higher. Like, nope, I'm not doing that bullshit, bro. Lazy ass fucking design. It's a passion project for me, and I want it just to be big. That's why I say I'm going to initially... like, the core game is just going to be free to play. I love it. Now find ways to like. That's why there will be like DLC. But here's the way it's gonna work too. I want to have an in-game counter. Like every time you put money, the second it leads up to all the amount the game's worth, you just unlock the whole game. So if you basically spent as much money on the DLC as you would to buy the main game, you get to keep the DLC. Plus, you just get the game for free. It's like a thank you for fucking putting your money.
You should get a DLC called E-Girl Fighters, and then you get all like the little spin-offs to all the famous E-Girls.
Hell no. You know what I'm saying? Like I want it to be the most consumer-friendly game I could think of. And another thing is I want to copyright a lot of it because I've even thought of unique ways. Like I actually want to do something where if you just get it free to play, I think even Mar. I mean, it might be a bit controversial. I think a lot of the higher player things. So this is your first guys that I don't even know if I want to say it, but yeah, you know what? I won't even say it.
Yeah,
here's the thing. I want to do these things like alone. Some of these monetization things I would be extremely toxic. Like 100% they would, the idea. But here's the reason why I want to take them and monetize them. Because remember, I'm charging $1 to only do insert this thing here. And I don't want to mention because companies might actually listen to this podcast and they'll get an idea. Like, look how fucking Sony wanted to copyright adjusting difficulty. Or how fucking Bandai copyrighted that you can play mini games in your loading screens. And they're the only ones that can do that, yet they never took advantage of it. The reason I want to take every single toxic monetization scheme that I've seen that hasn't been done yet and then do it in my game. And they're not top. Remember, I'm not gonna implement. Again, you can do them, but if you pay enough, then you just unlock the whole game. And I'm gonna copyright that, so then no other company could do them, and they can't abuse it. That's something that I actually want to do. Is like, let me think in their steps. Like, how can I finesse people from as much money as possible that hasn't been done yet? Then let me copyright that. Do it the most consumer-friendly possible way in my games. And because I have the copyright, EA has to come to me if they want to do that shit in their game, and they have to give me fucking money.
Oh, that's fine.
You know?
Yeah,
I actually give a shit about the consumer. Like I genuinely want some. Like I said, I just want to go back to how I was because I remember how I was. What I played so many demos, right? Like I said, I want that kid in Africa to spend his $1. He can play his campaign, whatever, and he's just manually. And here's the other thing too. Remember, you only can pay, let's say, $1 a month or some shit. That kid, $1, and he just loves the game. And he's clearly. And here's the other reason why to me it still pays off. Because that's why I want to work on the online component separately, make it semi-MMO. Because he likes the game so much and he's building up his gear because he's playing the offline, he plays the online, that makes it a super active player base because it's free. So the people, how do you get your money? It's like, over time. I have people, and we already seen it with Fortnite. It's already free entry. I let them play the campaign once. They have to do other stuff, or either own the full game to play it again, or play with friends, which they all want to, so they'll put their $1, and they'll keep doing it. And they don't have to, and it ends. At a certain point, they're like, okay, boom, $45, whole game unlocked. So that means 45 months, right? If you're super broke, but let's be honest, maybe your birthday comes. Oh, here's $10. So let's say $10 a month. That's like, what, 4 months? 5 months? That a kid can reasonably get the full price game and then they get the full experience. But I want to have other stuff because the online, at the end of the day, you do have to have some of this monetization schemes, but I want to make it as friendly as possible. And again, if you work with the modding community, because I can only work so much. At the end of the day, I'm still an indie dev. It's cool if, like, you know what? You guys are super dedicated community members. Let me work with you. You guys do what you want. And you guys make mods, this, that, whatever. I'll find, like, nude mods I'll never approve on Sony, right? Straight up, this is what is. It can be free, no money, whatever. But mods that are super, again, there's some people that just put a lot of work, and it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, look at the people who made, like, some of the Resident Evil 4. They did a true Resident Evil 4 remake. They literally redid the textures and everything. And there's a video called Capcom Hire This Man. I'm like, why wouldn't you? Why isn't this released on console? Like, people would buy it. Like, it's an actual full remaster, like 4K textures and everything. They already did the work, and we can agree that man deserves pay. Am I not wrong? Those two dudes that here's like, even it's not much, $100 or $1,000. They wouldn't mind.
Money's money, dude.
Right, exactly. But they never did it for the money. They did it for the passion. The money and the thank you is enough for any fan, right? So it's almost like, I don't want to say explain the player base, but it's easier for you to pay the people who already mod and put in that effort and passion. Remember, their passion. They do it out of love, not because of money. But if you just show them some graces, or maybe be like, fuck it, the next game you guys get for free. Like, what matters is you give them something of monetary value. That's truly the final thank you note. And then you yourself monetize off that. Why wouldn't you? To me, it's like, I don't understand how companies don't monetize off their fans. And it's not even, like, toxic, in my opinion, right? Like, especially if you at least give them some back. Like, and that's just me. To me, I think I want to really be working with the community. That's another reason for my game. I'm going to keep it real. So for you tournament organizers, you're going to kind of hate me, but it has to be the way it is. I will see manually and I will approve where my game can be played in tournaments. Straight up. Because there is just some controversy in the FGC that I'm not with. And I'll fuck with this or whatever. And I want to regulate my game very tightly. I know people are going to hate me, but I'm within my right. You know, and because here's the other thing is, like, I don't want to be just any esport comes in. Because my focus is to make a game. Esport later. And I don't want too many games or locals to be like, oh, esport, like, no, because then it's just gonna share casual. I want to bring casual, like, no, you pay for the game, and then like a year into it, they're like, oh man, the online's fucking sick. And then the second one comes out, they're like, oh, MLG, you know. So I'm gonna be very, like I said, like, so I know Combo Breaker might hate me, or like, you know what I'm saying. So I know even it's against our philosophy. But remember, I don't care about the minority. I care about the majority. So a lot of you, like I said, if I don't know the local or what they're like, low kicks are gonna do it. Like, so obviously I'm gonna have a contract with low kick, right? Because bias as fuck. So then people can go watch my local and their streams. That's half the reason I'm doing it. So low kick, you guys are gonna love me. And I'll have like special events, just like I said before, like streamers. Like I said, I want to have a whole plan for marketing and shit. So I'm not even stupid, right? Streamers that I like or whatever, be like, hey, would you like the free demo, this and that, and then the game officially comes out. Some people will get it early, and I want to give it. I don't want to. By the way, when you start making games and stuff, and people hear about it, literally people like GameSpot or IGN immediately are in your email, and they want to get like a free copy. Dude, I'm not giving anyone a free shot of my shit unless you're my supporters. People I personally know who I want to game test, or actual people who I want to get their hands on, whether it's super big streamers like Corona that I like, or that one of the best video game reviewers ever, which is AGCN, which is like buy, wait, or for sale. And he'll be like once everything's done, he'll be like the final person, right? It'll be like near done, and I'll give him because it's basically gonna be a final product. And the only thing with him is would be like maybe like a last minute patch or something. Like the game's basically 99% complete, and he gets an early ass copy so he can finish a review. Meanwhile, GameSpot, IGN, they're just gonna have to wait till the game comes off, so they could go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
I'd rather that a lot of smaller content creators and big ones that I personally respect that deserve a lot more recognition get hands on my game. And the thing is, like I said, and the way you do it, like I said, I'll release my trailers, be smart about it, and I even want to release a little mini animated series. Or it'll be an Unreal, right? So it'll be 3, because I feel like, look at Cyberpunk, right? Like it popped off more because of the anime. So I even thought like, yo, while I'm learning cutscenes, let me just make the whole segment of this game or something into cutscenes or whatever. Put it on YouTube, and people are like, "Yo, this is fucking sick." Wait, it's a fucking game, because like that's
Oh yeah, I
let's
get
people.
you.
I mean, heck, Mar, how much did you like my story? By the way, I've expanded on it. Like, what you're literally. We have to give shout outs to Mar here. Like, it was always just something a speck in my back in my head, but when I explained to him part of my lore, dude, he fell in love with the idea so much. I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is.
Yeah,
And I've been
100%.
enjoying it. You know,
Like in all seriousness, man. Like I honestly can't wait when you have the finished product and it comes out, man. I'm gonna be so fucking balls deep into it, man. It's not even fucking funny.
and like I
Like,
said,
I'm
man,
super
if you
excited
want to
for
create
this
backdash, I got you. You want to sign? I got you, bro. I want it to be where Tekken players can face base blue players and be like, all right, cool, let's see who's actually the fighting game player. And the game's gonna be designed around people who play both. Right, but you got to earn it. Like I said, it's gonna be a Zelda game. You first have just regular backdashing, no 3D sidestepping, and then later, oh, you unlocked backdash canceling. No, you unlock Korean backdashing. You unlock side. Like that's what we need in games. Just follow Zelda. Don't immediately give him 20 moves. Be like, here's 2 buttons. I'll backdash, and that's it. We will introduce more concepts as you play the game. And that's what's going to be the trickiest part. Is I feel for a lot of the hardcore FGC, it might not be as entertaining. That's what's going to be really hard. Because that's how every game is, right? Like, everyone plays the first one's whatever. Second one, and then third one's like, oh. So I think that's what's going to be the hardest sell. So it's going to be... I said, that's the hardest part for me in the development. It's like, how can I make hardcore players more invested in this, right? Because at the beginning, you're not going to have your Kazuyas. No, you're going to have... little, let's go save the day. Because again, I've watched enough stuff. Look at Teen Titans. Everyone starts weak, and then later as they get on the series, they get better. It's progression. That's how you need it. I need to appeal to the majority. But guess what? People are gonna come to my game. I can already see that. If you see, this game's easier than trying. And it's like, fuck. Look, maybe I'll allow it. Because, like I said, that's something that it's tough. Like being a game developer is tough. There's a lot of decisions you gotta make. And
I like how you mentioned the part where you said that when you make part 1 it's the greatest, right? And then when you make part 2 it's like, and then when you make part 3 it goes back up again. But truthfully, I think this goes for movies too. I think because part 1, you start out small. Let's say you put like 100K into this project, right? And then you make 1 million. And then
Exactly.
and then Pete, they get the creator gets a little too up high with it, It's like hitting a bonus game in a slot machine, right?
Exactly.
And then you're like, oh yeah, this is great. I'm about to get more money, and then you end up getting the more money, and then you're gonna start chasing for the next one, and it's like you're not really gonna.
Exactly.
If you rush the second one, it's not gonna come as good. So you could get a straight hit after hit after hit series if you put the same amount of time you put on the first one into the second one. So it's possible to get all 3 bangers,
I mean, sometimes you can. I mean, Halo did it. Shit.
Oh yeah, that is true.
Like I said, I take a lot of cues from like great creators. I guess like clearly I know my shit, right? But,
Like truthfully,
it's weird how we made a big thing.
the Lethal Company was made by one guy, right? And he already made like
yes, sir.
He made like
So look at that.
he made 1 million. So we just gotta hope that he's not out here trying to make Lethal 2 within like 9 months.
Oh yeah, that's
But I
mean, again,
have faith in dude to make sure that he's not gonna do that. I'm just saying, like as an example, no shade to that guy, because I see a lot of people play. I can't wait to play the game myself. And
I mean, we'll play it, man. Me, you, code, right, codes? We'll play Lethal Company with the small PP detector. Yeah. But yeah, no, for sure. Like I said, that's why I said it's the rise of the indie AAA. Outbreak Company was the start, and Baldur's Gate. I don't think they're full indie, but they're like triple. They're like double A. I think it's the rise of the double A trippy. That means companies that are, not necessarily EA or whatever. They're Baldur's Gate level. And look at Vampire Survivors. You know about Vampire Survivors, right, Mar? That $4 Steam game that pop off hard as fuck.
Yeah.
One Italian dude made that shit in Flash, and he had two friends who ported it to Steam. And he told the whole story of how he made. And he said one of the toxic things is trying to get publishers that didn't want to monetize the shit out of it on iPhone. And that's something that that's why I said it's like, I don't know how I'm a public, because the thing is I do want my game to at least run on iPhone. And the thing is like, I'm glad that iPhones have gotten stronger enough, because again, they can run Booty Water PUBG, they can run my game. There's a lot of consolidations I'm gonna make. So here's the other thing I want to mention. With my game, is too many developers right now, they have too much luxury. I'm pretending, because I noticed that some of the best innovation from old games, if you guys know enough, is when we have limitations. And I've literally self-imposed limitations on my shit. Like right now my mentality is pretend I'm developing for a Switch and a PS3. So that means right now I'm pretending I have only 4 gigabytes of RAM. This is my specs, yada yada. Even though I clearly have a GTX 1070, but it just makes development easier. And my goal is 120 FPS, 4K. So the resolution has to be 4K, and the FPS has to be 120. So now guess what? Now my level design has to be clever. I cannot have too much bloat. I cannot have oversized textures. You get what I'm saying? If I make these goals, like I said, it has to run on a Switch. I mean, don't get me wrong, on the Switch it's going to run basically 1080p 30, but my goal is that it better be able to run on a Switch, and if it's on a PS5, that bitch better run 4K 120. Because guess what? That's a selling point. Am I not wrong? That's another thing I have to put into mind is like, what are things that gamers like when they see 4K? The 120 is a bonus, right? But and the thing is, I'm gonna use PS3 graphics. Like, let's be real, bro. PS3 graphics have aged like fine wine. Like, you look at a PS5 again, a PS3 game, they don't fucking look that different. Like, for example, you guys have seen at least Dragon's Dogma or some like Dying Light or some bullshit, right? Some game, and then you're like, wait, that's a PS3 game. My game's not gonna look bad. I feel like that's why, to me, I do think graphics matter a bit if you want it to sell to a bigger audience. To a degree, right? Depending what you do. I mean, look at Fortnite. That game's literally no Fortnite, Minecraft. They're living proof graphics, don't matter, right? But I want to be able to appeal to people like us. And don't get me wrong, Fortnite, Minecraft, we all three of us will like it. But are we playing that shit every day? Fuck no. And it's all about art style. That's why I made a huge focus for art style. Like, I want to do the shading. I am doing an anime style, but I'm doing animes that are really grounded, like Cowboy Bebop and shit. Because most people don't like the super over exaggerated colors, right? Like, I'm very well aware of what the general audience is. Like, I'm not ignorant, right?
Dude,
So,
man,
I'm
art
doing an
style
anime
over fucking super graphics any day, man. Because realistically, when you think about it, all of your favorite games have a specific art style
They're trash.
that's just there for them. Versus
Exactly.
like every modern game you could possibly think of that's realism everywhere. Look how real this looks. Look how real this looks. Like, motherfucker, I see in my living room. I see realness. I don't need to do the same thing in a fucking video game. Give me some vibrant colors, something that I am incapable of seeing from where I am sitting. Let me see that.
See, that's why Borderlands was good with their cell shading, because it was like pretty different at the time.
No, but even now there's not that many cell shading games either, and they still age great.
Yeah.
Cell shading lets them be a bit lazy too with
anti-aliasing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's right. Like, yeah, no, like I said, I'm doing a lot of techniques that I've seen that a lot of higher devs do, and like I said, my biggest focus is, how can I tell my story, this and that, like, and I do want to have like realistic components. Like, I want to have like good, two things that I see no modern game tries is they don't focus on physics engines or like good AI. That was something that old Halo had that I noticed after Halo 3 they fucked on. Like I seen a great video that described how the AI is like, it is random and RNG, but it made sense. Like, we all know it's at least consistent. You get rid of the elite, the grunts just the demon, like, and they have reactive responses, this and that. Like, it's fun. Like, literally every time I play Halo 1, I'm like, why does this game feel good to shoot the enemies? Why is it so satisfying? And it's good AI. And that's something I've seen an immaculate lack on since the PS3. Like, we peaked at Oblivion. Oblivion had some AI so complex they had to nerf it in the final product, bro, because the AI was too good at being independent, bro. The motherfucker, like, right, what's the lore? Explain for me. What happened with Oblivion's AI?
It was so overpowered that, like, villagers would do their own thing even if you weren't even close to them. So much to the point that by the time you got to that village, it could have been wiped out because they all killed each other.
And let that sink in. We have never gotten AI past that, and that's a PS3 era early game.
Like, a random bear came into the village.
Speaking of PS3,
like, starting the game, and by the time you get in there after an hour, everybody's dead.
Crazy, isn't it?
Like they had a morality system too. So someone had like low morals in the game, they would break into someone's house and steal their food because they also were programmed to like eat. Like, oh, someone with low morality would break into someone's house, steal their food, and eat it, and possibly and there's a fun little bug you can do with that game too,
Hmm.
where if you set down a poison apple and let someone who has low morality come and steal the apple,
Oh.
almost like kill themselves.
Let that sink. We don't have that in game. And here's what's crazy, dude. I can genuinely implement. I'd have to do the tutorial, figure it out. But the thing is, like, the biggest bottleneck back then it was like CPU headroom and this and that. Like, we have them. Like, they're free to use. They're not even copyrighted. We can take them. But games are like graphics, graphics, graphics. That you now don't even have room for your AI to function because your bitch can barely hold 30 FPS. No, 4K, 4K textures. I'm like, this game looks like ass. You have no art. The AI is trash. This game feels like trash. Like, no, so trust me, I do have things. And again, at the end of the day, it's my product. You know, it's my baby, yada yada. But and again, I'm a beginner dev. Like, I don't think I'm hot shit, and it's my and even I'm thinking, okay, there's gonna be flaws. That's why I think the first game's not gonna come out perfect. That's why I think the sequel's gonna be better, and hopefully the third one, like, oh, you know, fucking hot shit and stuff. Or I think, like I said, and there's still things like right now, we're still in the beginning stages. Games can change drastically, and I know this. And even balancing, like in Deus Ex, for example, again, shows you that. Like I said, I'm oddly really talented on Unreal. Shoutouts to Unreal for being a really easy engine to use, which proves that developers are just lazy cunts. I actually see so many videos. I mean, Mar, how about this? Do I at least seem like I know what the fuck I'm talking about? Have I seen enough videos about developers, how they develop games from like PS1 to now?
Oh yeah,
that
definitely 100%.
Like,
Damn.
Like,
you know?
like when it comes down to it, the way how you're able to break down stuff, like it's clear that you end up not only you're doing this by experience, but you're also doing this via the knowledge that you ended up extensively going through in order for you to like get a grasp of, okay, I want to be able to make my own game. How do I want to make my game? How are these games made? What were they saying about these games? Like, you ended up understanding the mindset of different developers. You ended up understanding their niche when it came to like specific things that they really wanted to hammer into their game, so then it feels like their specific game. No one else can copy this shit. So
Exactly.
because of all that knowledge that you ended up carrying, for the fact that you're even making a game right now, man, like people need to be fucking hyped.
And it's crazy because like I did this for fun before. Like I would work. I'm a huge believer of like using your time wisely. And luckily for me, my job, even for the longest time, both the three jobs I've had before, or no, two of them, I still have one of them, the restaurant. I could literally just have headphones on, boom, and then just I would learn. Like to me, it's like if you have time, learn. You know, I just love learning, and I loved video games. That's how I learned about Hideki Kamiya, Shinji Mikami, and even the whole philosophy thing. That's recent because I literally started listening to GEC talks because they're like an hour long. But now as a dev, I'm like, holy shit, there's arenas and watch this. And yeah, literally what you said is something I recently learned about game philosophy. Some focus more on immersion, this and that. Like Far Cry 2, no surprise, he loves immersion. And I love immersion too. So I took keynotes what he does. And then, Gabe Newell talks about how to make the, like, realism. He says, like, I don't think, he says realism is stupid. What people actually want is the world not ignore them. Like when you shoot at a wall, you want it to respond back. Like when you shoot at enemies, you want them to respond realistically. It's not about the game world looking or being realistic. It's about being enough like where things interact the way they would in the real world, where you would do it, right? Like when you shoot a barrel, that shit should, right? Like simple things, like you don't gotta value honors. Like you know what? Yeah, because Half-Life looks okay, right? Like it's not bad, but yeah, I even found like why does it just feel good? Like when you shoot the, like, that's why I do think like I even want to add destructible environments because I'm like, dude, who doesn't like destructible environments? Like no one sits here and goes, man, I don't like this. but it's a really
as long as it's realistic.
Yeah, go ahead.
Nah, just kidding. No, because you said that you said no one likes disruptive environments. I'm like, unless it's realistic, because you just saying that a lot of people didn't like realistic stuff. But I guess it depends on the type of game, because I really like this SWAT simulator game, and
Oh hell yeah.
I don't think the realism of like how they move is real, but except for the part where like, let's say I shoot someone's hand, right? The gun doesn't fall off. I feel like that's a natural reaction of someone when you shoot them in the hand. They drop everything, you know? So I guess...
No. And the funny thing is, I seen a video that explained that, like, SWAT and whatever, it comes to game design, right? Like, they're like, okay, what do we want to emulate, and what parts of reality do we or do we not take, right? So that's actually a purposeful game design. There are times where you have to thoughtfully think of what exactly, right, you're trying to do. And it can, and even in realistic games, right? Like, it's crazy. Like, even in games like Tarkov, this and that, you have to pick. I'm like, you know what? A good example. Like, there's that super realistic tank game, right? Literally, everyone agrees it's one of the most, 99% accurate, right?
You talking about World of Tanks?
No, not World of Tanks. World of Tanks
okay.
actually we compare to You guys have heard of it, maybe, right? It's not World of Tanks. World of Tanks is just whatever. And you know it's not realistic because you can't run over buildings and make holes in them, right? Like Battlefield. Like, no, it's a set play, but it's authentic enough. That's the thing about people don't understand. There's a difference between authentic and grounded, right? Authentic means when you historically try to make as precise to what the real thing is, right? Grounded is where you give the feeling of realism. And World at War is grounded. It's not authentic. They actually get a lot of dates wrong. The uniforms aren't correct. Like I said, if you know, you start seeing all the problems with World at War. You're like, oh, that's not correct. But the average person, you're like, this feels like World War II. You get what I'm saying? There's a big difference. That's why, actually, believe it or not,
wild, because I didn't even recognize any of it.
Realism is a combination of both. And then more importantly, obviously, we know like things like physics, bullet drop, right? So there's realism is things like that happen in the real world, like physics, things you have to do. Would you and here's the games have to have a limit of realism. There can only be some realism. That's so the main thing they got rid of that game, War Thunder. The one thing they got rid of, and even the developers like this is too much. People don't know tanks have failure rates. Imagine you're playing a game, and then you start, the tank straight up just doesn't start, and they're like, that's just not fun. You know, even people agree that's not fun. Okay, if a game has a jamming thing, people don't mind jams. Oh, that this one's good in mud. You know, like, we love those features. We love attention to detail if it's gameplay. But if it's at the cost of your fun, no one likes that. And no one wants to pop in the tank, and you're like, wow, you picked the tank that has a 90% failure rate. No one's going to have fun doing that. You know, and with the SWAT game, one of the things they did that even they agreed isn't fun, and that's not realistic, a lot of some of the engagements they do is actually not realistic. Like, you're not sitting there in a boardroom for a good while, or and again, there's a reason people wait. You can't just go in. You have to qualify this, and like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you were truly to play a realistic ass version of SWAT or the other one, bro, you would be bored half the time. There's a reason.
Yeah, because you got started as a street patroller, and then you gotta work your way up the ranks.
Exactly, and there's that too. The whole thing about realism is you want it to a point where it's not at the detriment of fun.
Yeah, I
get
get
it. And even with fighting games, like, remember, mine's is primarily a fighting game. Like, I will have enough, like I said, I'm going to take influence from a real martial arts, and I'm even doing more components. Like, I'm doing the Dragon's Dogma. Like, clearly more heavier weight people are obviously going to do better because that's how real martial arts works, and no one's going to disagree with that. Like, I'm annoyed seeing Zhao Yu take half my life when I'm king. I'm like, dude, this dude's 300 pounds. He could blow on her, and she's down. That's just, to me, I found it annoying.
That's interesting. So then my follow-up question is that you said the bigger person's going to take more punches, lighter damage, right? Doesn't that mean it's gonna unequalize the fairness of the balancing?
Yeah, exactly. No, I don't give a shit about balancing because balancing's not fun. See, remember how some people, to me, it's like, oh, I don't care about how realistic. To me, I think balancing is stupid and it's ruined fighting games because you have to spend so much time making sure every interaction is fair that you do not spend time on things that actually matter, like offline and co-op or good online.
So that means
I do not get.
In your game, it would only be.
Look at Modern Warfare 2. One of the most unbalanced Call of Duties of all time. Everyone knows this, but why does everybody fucking love that shit? Because it's so unbalanced, it's fun. Why? Because they just cared about making a fun game. I care about making a fun game first, balance second.
Okay,
even as a gameplay designer, I'm like, no, I want this game to be fun as shit. I don't care if this shit's fucking broken. That's why I love old arcade games. Literally, fucking Street Fighter. No, Tekken 6 Azazel was mad bullshit. Tekken 6 Lars, bullshit. Man, do I love Tekken 6. I don't like Tekken 7 or 8 nowhere near as much as 6, and it's nowhere near as balanced. To me, balance doesn't mean shit if the core game ain't fun. Balance means nothing. That's why I said I'm focusing more on the fun and the core. Like, balancing can come once it's an actual people. Like, if I can get literally every single country and the president be like, oh, okay, greatest gamers games an official esport which supporting within high schools, then I'll be like, all right, cool, now I'll focus on balancing. Then I'll focus. It's the last thing in my brain. I care about balancing between you and the enemy opponents, not other people. We already have 20 other fighting games that do that shit. Why? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would I focus on this product? Because very clearly, people don't give a shit. At the end of the day, and here's the thing: you can do whatever you want. People are still gonna get mad.
Kind of funny.
Still get fucking mad at you.
Kind of funny. The Japanese
crux actually.
It'd be kind of funny.
My excuse of why is the game balanced? Because in real life, a fucking high school girl that weighs 100 pounds is not beating me, or the dude who's 300. That's people can. Guess what? It's a good crux. When people, that's why, like, with Battlefield, like, yeah, bullets have bullets. And boom, literally, I love that about the realism argument. Like, if you put enough, that's why I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna use it only to stop stupid arguments like that. Oh, why does my schoolgirl not beat? It's because in real life, would you believe if a high school girl beat up a 300-pound wrestler? No, it's not happening, dog.
The Japanese prime minister is gonna disagree with this, man. Yeah, I think they like balance.
A good example. Like, the pro players can fuck off and eat my dick. Oh wow, all 10 of you. Yeah, go fuck off. I want the 100 million people who are in Africa who are going to play my fucking game. You guys, like, oh, cool, wow, I lost $10 from y'all losers. I'm going to get my $1 million from the other people who fucking like this shit. And the funny thing is, those characters will be support characters. Like the schoolgirl is going to be able to fit into the spots, distract guards. Like, see, like again, like I want my game to be able to play by everybody. Okay, here's easy characters like schoolgirl character. What girl? Like again, what's the average girl who doesn't play games? Oh man, I want to use the schoolgirl. She's cute. And guess what? They don't even have to be good at the game. Like you could just be the partner. Like let's say you're playing with your boyfriend or some bullshit, right? Boyfriend gets to be a sweat. He could be legit. Do ya? And your girlfriend, you can even tell her, oh no, you're literally just a support character. They can't hurt you or anything. Her whole job is literally she could solve like literally. I want to make it. It's a game that everybody can enjoy.
Interesting.
Because I play plenty of games. Why don't we have characters that are supporting roles and even make sense with the story? Like who doesn't like? And I've seen other games that do it well. Like I said, I played enough.
Now I know
And guess what? You try
support,
to play Versus,
but how
it's
do
like
you do
Smash. Well, again,
support
have a Smash role.
in fighters
Players,
though?
bro. And again, it's not balanced because you're there to have fun. No one gives a shit about, like I said, number one focus, fun. I'll give a shit about competitive once my game actually makes fucking money. That's the problem. Too many games. Oh, esport. Hobie, how about you make that money burst? Then you give a shit about esport. That's why I said I'm gonna. Whatever, hush. You get what I'm saying. rolling back, what I said about the Deus Ex. I seen a great documentary because I love Deus Ex. Because their game is super hard, and even said they knew about development. They literally changed the balancing of just the ammo. And they had to restructure a lot of the level design, bro. But they couldn't because they had no time. That's how delicate game balance is. That's why even right now, like, again, I'm still getting my practice. Right now, I am at the stage where I'm just practicing making maps, menus, like making sure things function. And God, I'm catching on really fucking fast, actually. And I'm getting all my concept ideas, this and that. And like I said, I want to get a demo out so I can at least see, okay, am I rigging stuff correctly? Because going back to the realism, the characters look and feel realistic enough. But more importantly, when you move them, this is what fighting games do. They aren't animated one-to-one because real people move like ass. Like Battlefield and your SWAT games, people move like ass. We just don't realize it. That's why people like, oh, I like Call of Duty, I like Street Fighter. They're faster, and it's true. Street Fighter and Call of Duty characters are faster than Tekken and Battlefield characters. Battlefield and Tekken are more realistic than Street Fighter and Call of Duty, but Call of Duty and Street Fighter are more fun than Tekken and Battlefield. Why? Because no one... That's just how people are. People in their image, like when they're doing stuff, they feel fast, right? But when you look at two people fight, you guys seen this, right? In street fights, you know, you look at them, you're like, wow, these guys suck. You see their swing from a mile away, but in their eyes, like, oh man, I was swinging fast. You know, like it's this perspective. It's how, and they apply it to video games, psychology. That's why I'm glad I took psychology and sociology, so I can apply those techniques to video gaming. So that's why I'm making the startup actually faster than they're supposed to be. Like, I want my animations to be as realistic as Tekken, but to feel like Street Fighter animations. Because Street Fighter, no, seriously, a jab feels amazing in Street Fighter. In Tekken, they feel like molasses. They feel like ass. Even I agree. There's literally, like I said, I want it to appeal as much people as possible. I want people who are realistic. Oh my god, look at how realistic it is. And then people who actually understand it, or, you know, maybe they don't. They're like, I like DMC because it feels better. Like, I want both of them to shake hands and agree, like, man, this game looks realistic and feels great. And that's like, that's the main thing I want to get one of the demos. I want everyone to unanimously, like, until I get that sweet spot, or really good animations, and then people are like, oh, this feels great. And even something Tekken does, like the Hell Sweep, you can't see it, but mid-animation, literally, Kazuya breaks his spine, and his feet are behind him, and he's forward. Like, it's not realistic, but your eyes can't notice it, but you feel it in the gameplay. And that's in animations, 100%, it's just animation. I'm not following any rules of reality. I'm only vaguely following, like I said, stance, sure. How it ends, sure, realistic. But in the middle, 1000% just like animation techniques that we've been using for years. None of it's realistic, but you feel it in the game. Say like in Devil May Cry, when you fucking launch someone and then go in the air, no one floats in the sky for 20 seconds just swinging. That's not realistic. But guess what? No one thinks about that. Why? Because the beginning and the way you do everything, realistic enough, immediately you're immersed and you forget about all the bullshit. Like I said, you need enough realism to get people in, and make it just 100% the most video game shit on earth. People love that shit. Same like Resident Evil. The beginning, oh my god, grounded, oh, bullets, this and that. But, okay, why are the zombies dropping herbs? Why this? And, you know, like, this is funny. Look at all your favorite games that you think are super realistic. Oh, same even Battlefield. People forget. Why can you revive people with, you know, the little clear things? Like, logically, okay, yeah, that makes sense, but that's not how they work at all. You know, that you don't just, oh, someone has a bullet in their head. Cleared. All right, you're back up. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get the beginning to realism enough, and then in the middle.
Yeah, I'm still trying to understand the concept in Battlefield where people fucking take a rocket launcher inside of a jet plane, jump out of a jet plane, use the rocket launcher to shoot down another jet plane, and then safely jump back into their jet plane that they just jettisoned out of. I'm still trying to get that around my head.
And it's crazy because everyone thinks Battlefield's so realistic, but in reality, homie, it's not Escape from Tarkov. And there's a fine line, like, and to me, I still want to see where I want it to be, but I know for sure I prioritize my game being fun, right? Like, I want enough realism and grounded where people don't sit here and go, Like, at the very least, I want it to be a Battlefield. Like, I would love for it to be a Tarkov, but it feels like COD. If I can, that's my goal. I want it to be a game that's as realistic as Tarkov, but it feels like COD. Right? Like I would like to have different.
Tarkov?
I love Tarkov.
It
But
was
not too much, right? Like Tarkov had a high skill scene. Like I said, by the
was
way, I'm gonna
definitely
add-
high
There's
skill,
actually a
'cause-
realistic shooter that came out called Hell Let Loose. I honestly think it might be the most realistic shooter game out there. It's basically chivalry, but with World War II characters.
I mean, if we're being honest,
Which, if you
number one
don't know what
is definitely
chivalry is, that's basically like medieval times, like fighting with swords and crossbows and
Yeah,
shit.
it's a good game.
And like
I
the
love
physics
Chivalry.
are like hella realistic.
I mean, Insurgency, Sandstorm, and Chivalry are some of the most realistic games on consoles. Period.
Oh yeah.
Like Insurgency, Sandstorm, you really feel like an American soldier going to Iraq, like so hard, bro. Like it feels like found footage. Like it's not as realistic as Hell Let Loose or Tarkov, but it's right behind them for sure. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh, did you drop your magazine? Oh, bro, like that's all your ammo's gone in there. Like, you know, make sure you waste all your magazine and then reload, right? Like that's, you know, and some of these features depends. Like, some people are hardcore like that. And like I said, I want to have options because, like I said, thanks to Unreal, dude, it's so easy that I can actually add an FPS component for like one of the story modes. I want to add online to it because, like I said, that's what I mean. Like a lot of these bonus things that I can do, like I'll even add a racing segment, right? Like almost like Call of Duty. You know how you have your moments and then I'm gonna get into this plane. Oh, I'm in the turn section. I'm gonna do that, bro. Like, oh, here's your FPS segment. Oh, here's your racing segment, right? Because the story kind of requires that. You've seen how flexible my story is, right? So primarily fighting game, but then every now and then, oh, let's get in the car, and then you play your racing segment. Oh, let's get in this turn. You have your whatever shit like that, right? And because I can do it, Unreal lets me. And even things like I said, I look at FPS as like I want to have my game where it's like Battlefield. Like, yeah, I'll have some goofy shit, but I would also like that because people like that. Like, who doesn't like yo, that's fucking sick. You could have different ammo types. You could have NATO round, this round. Like, those are things that I like, and I think it doesn't deter from the experience. I think it adds to it, right? But I feel like manually reloading can be a bit much. I don't want to mind like you know, Red Dead Redemption's the peak of being too realistic. Like, there are some things that no one wants to do, you know. But what I do want to do, add that I think Tarkov would do, is what Gears of War did. Manual reload. I want to add a mechanic when you're reloading. You could do quarter circle, square, and like you know, it's gonna be there. Show you the indicator, and obviously the more clean you do it, like, and the more faster, like, there's a difference. I don't know how I want to do it, but I want to say if you do like a perfect quarter circle, he'll reload faster, right? Like things like that. And it'll be different inputs depending on what you're doing. So yeah, low key, my FPS is already gonna have more depth than other fighters. It's gonna have Gears of War's reload mechanic.
That's what it was. I should remember the game. That I was like, man, I remember having to click a button to reload faster, but you just reminded me it was Gears of War. I remember that.
Yeah.
Gotta click
Look,
R1.
the best part is I play so many games. I'm like, what if I take this one and this one? Take motion input, Gears of War reload, add it to COD. Boom. And who doesn't want to like that? Like, Sweats would like that. Wait, there's a way to make reload, and it's clear. And the thing is, noobs will even see it. But like, oh, they have a very clear way. And guess what? They get so let's say theoretically I made my shit multiplayer. And again, it's gonna have co-op. They play my rip-off version of Call of Duty, which would be way better than the actual one. And then they have no excuse. They can't say they can't play a fighting game. Like, homie, you've been doing a quarter circle for like a year now. You can play Street Fighter.
Wait, so your theoretically idea is just because they're able to click a button fast enough to do a reload, they're gonna be good enough to do a fighting
Quarter
game?
circle. Remember, it's not just the button. You have to do the motion input and the button. And the more better you do it, the better.
Oh, motion button. I don't know about that one.
Yeah, you know, quarter circle, DP, full circle, depending on what weapon you're using.
Oh,
whatever,
like with the
shotgun.
analog stick, right? Like you drop it down and
Exactly.
okay, I see what you're saying. Alright.
Exactly.
Damn.
I mean, it's optional. You still reload, and if you do it wrong,
It's gonna
it
take
jams.
longer. Oh, it's gonna jam?
that's what Gears does.
Yeah, if you fuck up, then it jams. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it just took longer.
No, exactly. It does take longer because it jammed.
Oh, yeah. But it auto
I mean,
fixes,
even-
right? Like you don't have to click anything to
Yeah,
get
of
it
course,
unjammed.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
But there's also a technique that'll make it secret that there is a way to cancel it, like cancel animation, and then you can retry it again. Or if you want, there's a technique to make it. Just see, though, there's def. Like I like it def. Because again, these are things that everybody. And again, the new players may not notice or whatever, and they get it, or they might not interact with it. They might make it slow. And pro players will, oh my god, look at the def, and that's what a good game has. And this is something that Platinum Games has nailed it. Everyone, like, look at Devil May Cry. Anyone can just go through the campaign, have a blast. You know, you don't have to be MLG. You could just go with the same strat of using handguns, then go with the sword. You know, you can play as basic as you want, but you get to have fun. But then the pro players are like, dude, look at all the layers of combos you could do and all this crazy shit. You know, like I think that's
fucking love
like I said,
Devil
the
May Cry
philosophy I want to
combos.
take. Right, easy to get into, hard to fucking master. But you really have to know what the fuck you're doing, and honestly, have a really good experience. And like I said, I'm focusing more on the beginners, and I work my way up there as far as gameplay mechanics. Right, my story. So I heard a great writer say. Like Avatar, the last Airbender, and I found out it's a good thing. If you're a writer, write backwards. What they mean is have already your ending in mind, and then write the other way around, so you know everything leads up perfect with no plot holes. And Loki, I actually been doing that. I didn't even know that that's a thing to do because one other thing is I love super badass things, right? Like I love, my Resident Evil 5s, my Asura's Wrath, but they're like super hardcore and you got to build it and you can't just, throw it in, throw someone into the shark pool because they don't get that, right? You can't go from Street Fighter to fucking an anime fighter because no one knows what's happening. So I would always have a scenario like, okay, cool, these are the like I said, it's Batman versus Superman, right? Like, that's what you want at the end. How can I build this up to where it makes sense and it's good? What's the payoff, right? And that's how I always thought for my story. And that's why I'm like, okay, no wonder I got no plot holes because I wrote backwards, as they say. And it's like, holy shit, I know that's not, like, I was already accidentally doing a high-level technique that apparently some fucking master Ivy League writers do. I'm like, holy shit, I didn't know this was, okay, cool. Like, I just happened to run into this thing, but only because for me, like, what's my strength? I love super hardcore action, Devil May Cry shit, but no, you gotta start with the little, remember, we're starting as Zelda, we're like, you do a square triangle, and before you know it, the 10th game comes out, you're out here doing some Devil May Cry ass fucking combos, bro, but you gotta build up to it, dog. You gotta sit here, Korean backdash, do ya, and then, fucking Devil May Cry combos and shit, and your fucking reload canceling, like, every technique, bro. I want my game to have every technique ever invented by mankind that's MLG as fuck. That, like, what I'm saying? Remember, you start with just mashing square, to just being like, damn, bro, this motherfucker out here, quick scope, Korean backdash, command grab, like, you're just saying everything, you're just saying shit at some point. Because remember, this is my game, like, literally, I hopefully want to get to that point.
Nah, you
like,
will.
I want my
don't
game
say
to be
hopefully. Say, I am going to that point.
I'm just a crackhead. I'm not gonna deny I'm a crackhead, bro. I just love stupid
Right.
shit. Every time there's
For the
stupid shit, I'm
record,
like,
he
oh.
doesn't mean it literally, just as a metaphor.
But remember, at the end, I'm being realistic. I'm like, that's for later. Right now, we're focused on the first one. Right now, my focus is on the little children. Like, here, just press square. Like, here, press your little square. Then number 2 is like, oh, here's triangle. Then, oh, here's circle. Oh, you press quarter circle.
Oh no, it seems like it's gonna be like a 10-hour intro. No, I'm just kidding.
Hell no. And also, no tutorials, bro. Like, the game should naturally teach you. Like I said, like, I'm following the Zelda method. Remember, you give them a sword, right? The Master Sword. And, oh, it could cut leaves. Oh, here's how you attack enemies. You do it enough times, they get it. Here's a shield. Oh, here's a bow. Like, it's crazy that... And Devil May Cry does this. What does it do? Oh, here's ebony ivory. Here's your sword. Oh, here's a new weapon after, like, 2 missions. Oh, here's a new weapon. So you can get to experiment. You figure it out yourself. And, oh, here's a door that's red that you couldn't get before. Oh, I could use this axe I just got. It's like, there's not a single line of text, and everyone immediately knows what they're supposed to fucking do. That's a great way to teach people, bro. Not this wall of text bullshit. Fuck no. Or at least I fucking have, like, the background character say some shit. We're like, oh, you know what? That's cool, right? Oh, man, I wish I had this, something that could blow this door and said blow. I just got a shotgun. Let me try that, But also have, like, the Baldur's Gate and Deus Ex approach. Let's say you're using a female character. It's like, oh, man, you don't have any powers, but, like, wait a second. I could fit through that crack. And then I could open the door back here, Because I was able to talk to the bartender dude, right? See, and that's like I said, divergent gameplay. That's something that I really love, right? Like, there could be one door, but I want my game to be able to have different options for every single class. Remember, it's going to have classes and shit, right? For people who play custom characters. Or if your waifu, she wants to play, she can help out. She can feel useful, right? Like, your character literally can. You have to rely on your waifu. And any girl who has a brain can be like, oh, I can fit through there because I'm like 110 pounds and I won't break the floor. You can't. You're too heavy and you have shit on you. Let the waifu go through. Am I not wrong? Is this decent? I mean, let me ask you this, Mar. Would you and your waifu like to play this game? No, shit.
Honestly,
Right?
I don't even think it'd be hard. You think that this would be something that she probably do. Realistically thinking about it, she's casual as fuck. Like, she's hella casual. But
Exactly.
like, there's times that she'd be perfectly fine with playing.
Did I call that clear?
Right.
Didn't Mike?
Wait, can you hear me?
Did you hear all of
Not a
that?
lot.
Or did
I did a bit, but it cut off
Okay.
a lot.
I was like, damn, greatest. I'm like, it must be my
Oh, my-
internet.
No, it's something's going on Mars end.
No, it's 100% my end, and I know it's my end because like my internet's been down like past 30 minutes. I'm pretty sure it's the tower that
Exactly.
like I'm rushing out like my phone internet.
Oh, I see.
But no, like I was saying, it'll be that I don't even think I had to watch TV. I was like, it just concept of like, as long as she's able to find the factory, shoot that bullet.
Right, exactly. See, that's why I said if
Something
anything,
else.
dude, when I hopefully can
Play
give you a
Fortnite and
walk
all that
demo, I would love for you and your wife to be able to play it together, and I want her thoughts. Like I said, people like her are people who I actually fucking care about, right? You know, like I'm not just someone in my high horse. Like I want to see like again what makes these normies think. That's why I said I want to have my sister play, right? Because she's pretty normy. Like fine. What's the secret sauce? What's the timing? And I'll have different things. So I mean, if she's more down to try it out, bro, please, you guys try it out. So it's something you guys can play together.
Definitely.
So I mean, but you like it, right? You think the idea is really good. What I'm trying to actually focus on, right? Like not just all the sweat.
Oh yeah, definitely. Concept wise, like it's honestly something that not too many people are even fucking considering on even touching, or at least for as far as I know. Like clearly in the fucking AAA people, they have no idea what the fuck to even do with the games that they even have now.
Yeah.
And then like, especially with you being an indie developer and you being able to come up with like your own, you're basically in your own lane right now, for as far as I know. But like that's essentially every indie developer, because a lot of these games are completely different from one another, and that's literally, in my opinion, how fucking video games should be. We shouldn't have fucking different names of franchises being essentially the same exact game that we've already played before.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Because let's be real. Is there a game that exists that's like mine? I kind of want to say no.
There's a cluster.
No, 100% no.
Yeah.
What contradicts itself?
It's fine. It'll work out. I'll make it work out. I mean, like I said, actually, if anything, what contradicts itself, if anything? What do you think is contradiction?
I just have a question.
I don't think there's anything that contradicts. Like realistically, think of it this way. Like, go back and think of like the days of Grand Theft Auto. I'm gonna make a game that's gonna be overhead. That you drive your car around all over the place, but I'm gonna have you get out the car and you be able to shoot people. Now, if you shoot too many people, the cops come after you, and then now it's a game where you have to run away from the cops. Like like just back in the day, I can imagine that being a fucking completely far-fetched idea for people, and now the fucking GTA 6 is looking to be probably one of the biggest fucking releases of all time.
Right. And you want to know what's something I want to do more that you're gonna like I said, because Unreal lets me. That's why I love it. Like I actually get to do more than I wanted. But like I said, multiplayer sadly gets more. I'm being realistic, and I'm listening to criticism. Like I don't mind criticism, right? Because again, okay, what contradicts? It's good to listen to people who know what the fuck they're talking about. Maybe fix it, see what things. Because again, a lot of it's but at the end of the day, I know what my vision is. 100% things that are true. Offline content. Like I said, I know like things might change in the future, but my goal is I want to be able for you and your wife to be able to play it and have fun. I wanted the story to be at least engaging enough to where you like the characters, right? And I want, like I said, my fighting game is not just any other fighting game. Fuck no. I don't care about balance. I want it to be enough like, you know what? It wasn't the greatest, has its flaws, but like, you know what? The core game is fun. I love the ideas. I think they were really executed. There are things, because that's going to happen with the first game, right? But that's why I want to have a long test period, because like Baldur's Gate were enough, and then, all right, cool. It's good enough to me where I appeal to the large majority where I can approve the second one if it does good enough, right? Because then what's the point of putting all this effort if I know it's not even going to do that well? Like, I'm happy if it could sell like 1 million copies, right? That's where I'm at. That's already a super high standard for indie games. But then it's like, okay, cool, I can keep doing this, and then I can do this as like a job, right? So then, because the main thing is, like I said, I'm not trying to get that much money off of it. But even then, okay, and the thing is, once you sell like 1 million copies, doesn't Epic take a cut of it, right? When you use Unreal, right?
Yeah.
So think about it. I have to give a cut.
Yeah.
Sony, and then I get the rest, and then I gotta split it with Clockwork because he's helping with 3D rigging and stuff, and then of course Peg and all this other, so I only get so much. But if I can make full, and I know, okay, cool, this is the reception I'm getting from everybody, these are reviews, and at that point I want it to be small little things, right? Not just big things. Oh, this game's really, I'm saying? Like, that's why you have to have a long test period with people you do trust.
What you're saying is...
And Vile for voice acting.
99,000. After that point, like, all right, people can pirate it now. I don't give a shit.
Pretty much, really. But I mean, why would they though? Because they need it for that. And that's the thing, right? And then when you have actual sales, then you see what you need to improve. Like, the thing is, what I have that indie developers lack. No offense to you guys, is that they don't understand marketing. They really don't. And I'm glad that I had one of my former bosses even explain to me a lot of this. He says video games at the end of the day, most of it's just marketing. And that's why I want to be really smart with how I'm doing marketing, right? And then take analytics, this and that. And literally every indie game, they know this. Like, they see the meme, oh, makes a gacha game, all this passion. Just puts it up on Steam and hopes for the best. It's like, damn, no wonder a lot of these indie games just don't pop, right? So I hope, like I said, that's why I'm going to make it free to play, this and that. And again, when I have the actual budget, this and that. And the thing is, I can't just have it consume my life. Like, I think at least I have a good work-life balance. I'm not letting, like, when the game comes out and it does good, I want it to be where, like, the only time I'll do a patch if there's something broken, right? Until then, like I said, I'm Harada. Don't ask me for shit, dude. I'm not balancing your character or this or that. Enjoy the game for what it is. Let it be a year. I'll do online updates for the MMO component of it, right? This and that. I'll largely want the game to slowly, like... I want it to be like an old school game. That's why I said, oh, by the way, we're going to have cheat codes. So you guys have fun with that. you get to unlock stuff. Like the main game, it doesn't look like much, but the more you play, it unlocks. Like that's what. Remember how games were before DLC? You just unlock. Another thing, neat feature I'm gonna do to you guys is exclusive. It will unlock things after like a month. So I'll say like, oh, here's the next DLC. Like it'll have a DLC menu. No, it's already on the game. It just has a time lock until it releases, so the people think I'm actually like doing the DLC, and I just sit home and it's like, wait, how are you releasing the DLC? You're still not working. You've been playing Devil May Cry for the past month. Yes. What's your answer? Go away. Ask any more questions. I'll shut you for like 10 minutes. Leave me alone.
So ways no trust is left is gone. Yeah, it's gone. Might as well speed up. Open the legs, I might as well beat up. Yeah, love the money, I never could get enough. I'm in your head, I might as well call you bluff. You're not as hot as me, I got the heat though. No, talking down on me, you still beneath. No, I know it's hard to believe I play for keeps though. Yeah, up past that tree, we can't disagree. She get on her knees, she got a degree. Swimming 7 seas, but I'm still floating though.